Loan application can take different forms, such as applicants submitting multiple applications with slightly altered details to improve their approval odds, or a fraudster using stolen or synthetic identities to open a credit card. In this video, I'll show you how to use Fingerprint to link applications from the same browser or device and flag suspicious submissions. We'll start with a mock loan application page with no restrictions, then add Fingerprint to catch fraudulent applications. So here's what it looks like without any protections, right? I can put in my information, I can ask for a certain amount of money, and my loan application is approved. All right, now if I go ahead and maybe change up the details, for example, put in some different amounts, and again, I can submit the loan application no problem. Put it in a different person's information, different amounts. Put it in again, right? Nothing can stop me. Now, obviously, this is an oversimplified example, but the idea is that I can continue to pretend to be whoever I want, perhaps using stolen or synthetic identities, and the server, they just review every application in isolation, right? There's no record of which browser or device actually submitted it, so modified details look like a completely new application every time. Okay, now let's see what this looks like with Fingerprint added, so the purple version. So again, starting with my information, put the amount in, and I can get my loan approved. Great. Now let me go ahead and try and change it up again, right? Using a different name, some different information. However, this time we can see that it has been blocked. Right? So the Fingerprint gives the server a consistent identifier for the browser or the device behind each submission. And that allows you to detect when the same browser or device submits multiple applications. That way you can link them together and detect attempts at loan fraud. Now, opening this in an incognito window, for example, or VPN wouldn't change it either. But let's go ahead and see how this is actually implemented. So the first thing we're doing here is bringing in the Fingerprint JavaScript library, and I'm using the public API key. And now what we're going to do is ask Fingerprint to identify this visitor. It's going to return to us an event ID and a couple other things, but the event ID is what we really want here in the front end. We're going to use that event ID in the back end, so we're going to make sure to send that event ID along with any of the loan application details to that endpoint. Then on the back end in the server, we're going to be passing that data all the way through. You can see I've got my request loan function, and that request loan function lives here in the loans file. Now, the first thing we're going to do here on the back end is bring in the Fingerprint server API client. Here I'm using the secret API key. Make sure to never expose that to the front end. And we're going to continue to bring through that event ID, right? So we're bringing it in from the body, and we're going to use that event ID to get the full identification event details. This is going to include things like bot detection, VPN detection, virtual machine detection, etc. First thing we're going to do is pull out the visitor ID here, though, and this visitor ID is stable across, IP changes, cookie clearing, etc. So we're going to make sure to use that visitor ID along with the other pieces of loan data. Now, I mentioned we bring to you bot detection, right? So we're going to check that here as well, make sure that no bots are applying to our loan application process here. We return to you not detected or good or bad for that bot verdict, and you can use that to block bots. Now, we also can use our suspect score. The suspect score is basically a number based on our smart signals. The higher the number, the more suspicious, the more anomalous the behavior or the characteristics of that browser or device. Now, we've got our bot detection, we've got our suspect score. The next thing we're going to do is actually use that visitor ID there. And we're going to use that visitor ID to check if it's consistent, right? So we're going to check to see, is the, for this visitor, is the name consistent? Is maybe the monthly income, is that consistent? So we're going to use that with that helper function. We'll come back. If we see an inconsistency here, we're going to return a fail on the application, as we saw earlier with the Fingerprint version. Then we're also going to check just the number of times the applicant has put in a submission. So in this case, maybe the information is the same, but we're going to see how many times have they maybe tried putting an application. Just an additional check here that we can use the visitor ID for as well. All right, and then of course, every time we're doing this, we're going to be recording that loan application and making sure to use the visitor ID when we make that loan application recording. And that's already included in the loan data. Okay, I think that's about it. At this point, I forgot there's one more thing in the recording of that loan application data. I did say we got to include the visitor ID, so there we are, just updating the visitor ID in that query, so it's saved alongside the loan data. Now we're able to actually record that loan application, so next time someone comes back again, we can retrieve that information to check as well. Okay, so now let's see it all together. We've updated the orange version here. We're gonna come again, we've reset the database, put the new information in, submit it, and we should be good for the first time, right? Great. Then we come back and try and change information. Maybe we're changing, monthly income, etc., other details. And this time we come back and try and submit the loan again. And you can see now that that loan application is being denied, right? So now we can see that the application is a bit more protected. Now here I'm opening it up in incognito mode. Again, same thing. If I come in with whole new, brand new information here in incognito mode, you'll see after I put the details in and try and request a loan, we're still being denied, right? So even though I'm now in incognito mode, any cookies might have been cleared, for example, but now I'm still being denied. So reviewing applications in isolation can make it really easy to miss some of those patterns that become visible across submissions, right? So even linking them together with something like cookies or an IP address can be really fragile. Fingerprint gives you the browser device context, so attempts for fraud or just suspicious behavior in general are caught earlier on in the process. Now, in a real implementation, you'd likely maybe flag suspicious applications for manual review later on or for additional verification rather than just blocking them outright. You can combine those signals with other identity verification checks as well, but go ahead and take a look at the tutorial and the sample application to try it out for yourself. Take care.